Ace Man, Adam from Delaware here. Just wanted to give you a little State of the Union. This week I ate beef stew for breakfast. I don't own any bracelets at all. I bought the beef on discount because it was going bad, and I ate it directly out of the pot because I didn't want to make a bowl dirty. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I'll tell you, one of what I would consider innocuous tweets that I put out that seemed to anger dudes the most is I just announced in the middle of COVID more dudes wear bracelets now than eat stew. And that made dudes angry.
Yeah.
But it was a better time when men ate more stew and wore less bracelets.
It should be a bumper sticker. More stew, less bracelets.
It's an indicator of what, it's people will go, who cares about stew and who cares about bracelets? I don't know. You find me a chick with a septum ring and I'll find you someone I hate. Mm-hmm. And then you go, what's that have to do? Were you against jewelry? No, I'll just know who I'm dealing with. So it's like it's a sign.
I don't know how the septum ring became such an empowering thing. It's what you put on a beast of burden to lead it around. Why they chose that, I don't get.
The septum ring is the female deep leg cross. So when Gavin,
crush your nuts. They're crushing their own nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Right.
And it's painful and it's not comfortable.
Right.
And an infection could set in. But it's important that you signal to people who you are. So when you see the dude with the deep leg cross, then he's signaling, and when you see the chick with the septum piercing, she's signaling it well. It's the version, because they can't do the leg cross because they already crossed their legs that way. The thing that's funny is the agreement that the interviewer guy has, because everyone who interviews Newsom does the deep leg cross to sort of present. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like in the animal world, it's called
same.
Yes. Well, I will let you know that this is a hospitable zone for you by doing a deep leg cross.
Right.
All right. I don't know what I'm hearing. Because it's a weird. By the way,
I'll tell you what it is.
The second I said it,
I'll tell you what
stopped.
it is.
The second I said it,
because I stopped moving. These are necklaces under my T-shirt.
That's what I thought I was hearing.
Yes, they are. That's what that is. I apologize for that. I also have a bracelet on, but I eat more stew than bracelets.
Oh, yeah. You got one bracelet.
I got one bracelet.
You're like
I've had it since I was 18.
You're like 3 stews to one bracelet.
My stew to bracelet ratio is really,
it's about the ratio
in good shape.
To me. Yeah. All right. And I thought it was coming from you, but the very second I said it, it stopped.
That's because I stopped moving.
All right. Well,
yes, that's me. I'll be aware of that.
Zip your shit up a little.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the fact that, the indigenous people, they always go, the Indians go, well, this is our land. Sorry. This is our land. And then Mexico's like, well, we Southwest, that's all us. That should be all us. They go, we Arizona, Nevada, California, that should be all us. Okay. Which you can make an argument for, but understand this, indigenous people who wants Arizona and Nevada back, there would be no Hoover Dam. Right. There'd just be dirt.
Sure.
You understand? There'd be no Las Vegas. There'd be no Sphere. There'd just be fucking dirt.
Because Los Angeles would be a desert.
Right. You guys want us to build a Golden Gate Bridge and a Hoover Dam, and then you guys move back in.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right.
If this was your land all the way through, there wouldn't be shit here.
Yes.
Mexico, it'd just be more fucked up Mexico.
Yes.
So you see what we build, and then you go, hey, the Bonaventure Hotel, not too shabby. The Disney Music Hall, not too shabby.
Say goodbye to the Griffith Observatory.
Right. You wouldn't have any of that because you're not capable of any of it.
Yeah.
So understand
and
that.
all of the land was gotten through either war, treaties, or purchases. None of it was stolen.
But here's the comedy. I've driven the whole Baja Peninsula, or at least a lot of it. There's nothing there.
Right.
Mexico, if you want a Hoover Dam or a Golden Gate Bridge, go sick. You got plenty of room to build shit on your land, but you can't fucking pull it off because you're Mexico and the indigenous people. Holy shit. You guys you'd be nothing. There wouldn't be anything higher than 2 stories. So fuck off, number one. But number two, I was thinking to myself, The American Indian, we had the same cycle with the American Indian as we did with pot and Ringo and Carrot Top.
And Ringo, okay.
You want me to weave this all together?
Yes, I know you can.
We started off as the American Indian was just, they were evil and they were savages, and every Western from the 50s was just a bloodthirsty savages.
Ringo is making sense now. I hear you.
We
hated Ringo.
They were the enemy.
Yeah.
And then we hated on them for so long that at some point we decided they're noble, and all of a sudden this new version of an Indian came up about lean and mean and sober and noble, and it's just
tier.
Yeah, a single tier. The steward of the land and all that kind of stuff. So we swung it. We swung so far negative that we swung back positive too hard, I would argue. We did it with pot. Pot was reefer madness. You'll go insane. You should be locked up for having a half a joint, everything like that. We turned it into some sort of medicine later on. And now fucking kids are smoking pot and their fucking brains are fucked up.
And parents not caring that when their children are still developing. Oh, they're just getting high all the time.
Every woman in Santa Monica would rather their kids smoke pot than cigarettes.
Yes.
Okay. So we villainized it. And when we swung too hard. Back, then Ringo Starr. In my lifetime, he went from a joke. If you were the shortest guy on the basketball team who never scored, you were the Ringo of the team, to top 5 drummers of all time. It gets mentioned now when they bring up drummers. They bring up Ringo Starr.
That was right place, right time. It's the only way.
They bring his name up.
Yes, they do.
And now Carrot Top.
Funniest guy in the world.
Carrot Top was a joke. He was a prop comic. Yeah. He was the butt of many other comedians.
He's a comedian now.
And now he's a comedian's comedian.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Stick around. Hey, Chuck.
Everybody's going to Carrot Top show.
41 years from now. You're gonna have a renaissance.
Oh yeah, I'm already working on my props right now.
Nice.
Yeah, you will be seen through a different light.
Yeah.
But
the point is, you're universally hated.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what he's saying.
It's going to be a different. It's going to be a different life for you in your 60s. That's all I'm saying. No, it's coming. You'll get there. You'll enjoy your golden years being heralded as a genius. Heralded. Yeah.
I thought I already was a genius. But,
No, we're doing. Didn't I explain the whole Ringo Carrot Top thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where you're at.
You did bring it around.
I'm proud of you. Right now.
It's coming around. It's coming around.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna, but not this weekend. It's gonna be a minute.
I had to front sell a lot of times, like with a little help from my friends, the Beatles song. And I'd say, hey, they let Ringo sing one. So even in radio, yes, Ringo was always the joke. And now Ringo can do no wrong.
I know. And
he and Joe Walsh are married to sisters, by the way. You know that?
Black women?
No. Yeah. The twins.
I thought about it for a second. I was like, that's the problem with sisters. I don't
think they're twins.
I was like, a lot of women are somebody's sister. Yeah. So they're married.
And they're living good.
They're sisters.
They're all totally sober, taking care of themselves. So Ringo's got longevity. We're not done hearing about him.
Yeah, no.
Plenty of praise to be heaped.
Yeah. But he didn't help him. He doesn't help himself when he does songs outside of the Beatles and inside the Beatles.
Yeah.
All right. So.
All right.
What do we got? Marjorie and Barbara Bach. Oh, Barbara Bach is Ringo's girl, and Marjorie must be Joe Walsh's. Right. Yeah. And you can see, if you see Barbara Bach, you'll see a pretty good gene pool going on over there. Read the cast. I'm going to blow your mind, Andrew, because you think of yourself as a film guy. The movie Caveman. You ever see the movie Caveman, Andrew? No. Okay, you should. The cast. Dawson Caveman?
No, never.
I'm not even going to ask Chuck. I'll ask you once we herald you as a genius. I'll get the cast of Caveman. Read me from 1981. Read me the cast.
Wow.
Or IMDb. Yeah, okay.
Ringo Starr, Dennis
Quaid, Barbara Bach,
Shelley
Long. Okay. John Matuzak, y'all. John fucking Matuszak.
Shit. Yeah, that guy was...
Avery Shriver of Burns and Shriver, the Doritos guy from back in the day.
Okay.
And Jack Gifford, you know that guy anywhere. He's been in a million movies with a weird voice. John Matuszak was Raiders defensive.
Right.
He was a huge dude.
He played Tonda.
Yeah, he was like a big party animal. Sloth from the Goonies is in this bad boy. Keep scrolling.
Wow.
Scrolling down. Let's see.
I love you, Chunk.
Let's see. Richard Mall, Night Court. I don't know who Hubbard is. Paco. Let's see. This is a crazy film from 1981 that had a bunch of people in it, and half of them weren't even actors, but Dennis Quaid. So I remember this because Barbara Bach acted with her husband Ringo in Caveman from 1981. All right. There's one. All right, what do we got, Dawson?
Well, we do got some news stories, but I want to see if you want to go over any other special moments in the State of the Union last night. I especially enjoyed the Somali pirates moment.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, maybe we'll take a look at
it.
It was funny.
The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota
pirates
remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not
Look
the
at the lady
exception.
next to Ilhan.
Importing these cultures
She's gonna hold her
through
hand in a second.
unrestricted immigration and open borders
There's fake tears
brings
coming.
those problems right here to the USA.
What do they mean?
And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah.
He did say later on in the speech too. He said, "If we got rid of all the fraud, we would have a balanced budget. We'd have zero debt."
Rashida Tlaib had the fuck ice button on.
Yeah, smart.
I'm telling you, the women are going insane. That's what we're experiencing. Gynofascism. There's
look,
too many in there.
I get
they're
them.
crazed and they're nuts.
I get them.
Yeah.
They hate America.
Yes.
But the people who say, "I love them," that's the craziness. I just don't get it.
I agree. I totally agree. I feel that way about like most everything. I don't. You take like Maneater. I don't hate Maneater. I hate the people who think they like Maneater. You know what I'm saying? Because without them, we wouldn't have anything.
I hate people who like that Pina Colada song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, although that's enough of once something crosses into novelty to me, like it goes deep into like Right Said Fred, I'm too sexy for my shirt, whatever
Great
it is.
song.
Once something goes way deep novel, it's that way with all art with me. I can watch a great movie, and I can watch a good movie, or I can watch a really bad movie like Caveman.
Yeah,
it's
and you can appreciate it
once it
for
goes
its art.
so
Yes.
south.
Yes.
I will enjoy it from a ironic standpoint.
Yes, I will say this. I don't like people who like Stranger Things, that show on Netflix.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
Right. Yes. I don't hate DJ Khaled. I hate people who like DJ Khaled.
Sure, he's got a grift. He's doing a great job. Good on you. I'm
Him
proud
on
of
his
you.
own is not. I should know who he is.
Yeah, without all these idiots, he would just be Khaled. He would just be Khaled, bro.
Right. We got Gavin Newsom because of idiots, not because of Gavin Newsom. Right. Gavin Newsom's a dime a dozen.
Right.
All right. So we got the pirate one. We got the.
That was good. He did say at one point he talked about a bill that would disallow senators and congressmen from purchasing stocks. And then he said, "Do you think Pelosi stood for that one?"
I think we have. I think we may have. First off, it's good.
It's just so damn refreshing to have a normal. I mean, and
I agree. I 1,000% agree.
It's like he's saying what all of us are thinking.
Also, the weird, and it's a weird part of life, but I sit there and I listen to him talk, and he hits the border, or he hits jobs, or hits the economy, or he hits insider trading, or he hits Somalis. Basically saying what I've said my whole life. You can't take a group who does a lot of this, and Somalis are involved with a lot of corruption. It's fine. Mexico's involved with a lot of street sales. But whatever it is, you can't just bring them all in and not expect them to recreate whatever it is they do. I would be surprised if they didn't.
Sure.
How else would this go?
Right.
And by the way, you can, let me give you a quick example. When I was young, if you went around in September and drove around from any park, you might find X amount of Pop Warner football teams practicing. So I played for the East Valley Trojans, and we practiced at Beeman Park now, I think they call it. We'd go to North Hollywood Park. And then later on, the Sun Valley Falcons, and that was at Poly High in Sun Valley, whatever. But you could drive around the San Fernando Valley on a Tuesday at 5 in the afternoon and just see Pop Warner football playing. Okay, that's how I grew up. That was years ago. Now you drive around now, you see Mexicans kicking a soccer ball around.
Right.
Okay, what happened? Well, we brought a lot of Mexicans in, and guess what? They play soccer. Okay, is it good? Is it bad? It's just what they do. So now you drive around on a Saturday, and instead of a bunch of Pop Warner football games being played, you see a bunch of soccer being played because
and adults
and kids and everything else.
A lot of kids, but honestly, around my house in North Hollywood.
Oh yeah,
it's adult leagues.
Your house
all over the place
has an extended strip of grass that has 11 soccer fields set up on it, and your house in that area, that's where I played my Little League baseball.
Oh, okay.
And so back in the day, we would have been playing Little League baseball there. But we're not, but now we're playing soccer. Okay, so what happens? Well, you brought in a lot of Mexicans, and they're playing soccer. Why wouldn't they? That's what they do. You bring in a lot of Somalians, and they're gonna grift. And you bring in a lot of Germans, and you're gonna get a lot of pretzels. So that's just the way you're gonna drink from a lot of boots. That's just the way it's gonna go. That's how this is gonna work. Yeah. So why is anyone surprised? I don't get it. And then it becomes racist, but it's not really. It is because we don't like the behavior they're engaging in, but the reality is they're doing what they do. And by the way, they're not doing what all of them do, just like all Mexicans don't play soccer. It's a higher percentage of them who play soccer. Right. So you get more soccer, and you get more graft and corruption from Somalians. Thank you. Go ahead. All right, we got this clip that Dawson sort of stepped on, but
Americans can profit from. That all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Lots of Democrats standing.
Democrats stood.
Elizabeth Warren on her feet.
Standing. Agreeing to that. The guy looks like Greg Fitzsimmons is standing.
Right.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up when she was here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
You know, it'd be good. You know what I would do? Show from that beginning where they stand up one more time, because I'm telling you, J.D. Vance left money on the table here.
Issue with up to $1,000 each year, as we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market. Let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
He just stands up and you just get a full-size shot of his crotch. If J.D. Vance were smart, he'd gone full Spinal Tap. Like, just get a large cucumber and just, like, duct tape it to the inside of his leg.
Yep.
And forevermore.
Boom.
Forevermore. It was just like
hog.
everybody. It would be all over the internet. You would blow up the internet. All you'd have to do is take, like, a medium-sized zucchini or medium to large cucumber.
The New York Post would have the headline, JD's pants.
That's right, JD's pants. And you just tape it to your inner right thigh, and you never say a word. It's just this huge outline. It's like massive hog. And by the way, that'd be it forevermore. You'd be dead for 1,000 years, and people still be calling you JD Pants, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. There was another part of the speech. I don't want you to find it, but obviously Trump embellishes, and he says things that you're like, okay, that's not true. But he said, he got shot in the leg, and the legs. That's the most important part of flying a helicopter. Anybody will tell you. Everybody will tell you. And I was like, I'm sure you need your legs, but I don't think it's the most important part.
Did he say? I was listening. Maybe you can find it. I mean, there's a lot of pedaling going on with
yes, there are
helicopters.
pedals. Yeah,
and I think that's what he's saying. But yeah,
I'm sorry, I got major freaking hay fever. Never happened to me before, and all of a sudden I get hit with allergies.
Really?
You want to get weird.
All right, we got the hockey team here, I think, which is good. That's another. Democrats won't stand for the hockey team, which is funny.
People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Let me tell you something. You can pause it for a second. All the Democrats are sitting, and then they do that passive-aggressive, I'm going to stare at my phone thing.
Even the ones that are so close and on camera.
I'm telling you, if I'm running for anything, I'm standing up. If I'm a Democrat, I don't want footage of me fucking staring at my phone when the men's hockey team walks past me. Right. I don't want that shit thrown in my face in the next election. Maybe it makes you unpopular amongst Democrats, but I'm going to be like, fuck you. They won the gold. I'm standing up, douche. All right, sorry, play it. There's the men's hockey team. Got their gold medals. They got their sweaters on. Democrats hate it. But as previously stated, it's not like they hate hockey. They just hate America. They hate... Well, I'll tell you one thing. You can pause it for a second. Like I said, I see everything through the lens of my mom and my grandma. They hated any kind of patriotism. They hated any kind of we're number one. And if it was USA number one, they fucking hated it. It drove them insane. It's a weird enzyme they have. But USA chants and hockey teams and gold. And remember, they beat their beloved Canada. They fucking love Canada. They wish Trudeau could be the president of the United States. So the Democrats love Canada. They're in love with Canada because during COVID, he locked people down even harder than we did. And they love that shit. They're such a fan of that authoritarian bullshit that they fucking love Trudeau. Such a douche.
Insanity on display.
Yes.
Very, very eye-opening. It was a good watch. I enjoyed it.
There's a clip which is a bunch of women doing a podcast who are like mocking the veterans who got the Bronze Star, the Service Star, whatever it is. But it's a funny thing. But I realized also it struck me too. Women are so much meaner than men, and they're in a weird way cruel. Not cruel like waterboarding cruel, but like cruel in their attitude. All right, so it's the helicopter pilot got his legs shot out. This is from the podcast. This is I guess ladies of color, even though I'm not exactly sure what that is anymore, because it's that Susan Rice thing where Roseanne's like, I didn't know the bitch was black. It's true. If you see Susan Rice, she looks like a tan woman with straight hair. Then people are like, you should have known this person was black.
Well, they were talking about Valerie Garrett.
Sorry, Valerie Garrett. Yeah. Did I say Susan Rice? Sorry, I screwed that up. No, I'm not. I can't say for certain if someone is black. I don't exactly know. You can't tell by the hair and you can't tell by the skin anymore. So certain people know. You don't know. Sorry. Well, listen.
I was there, and it was as horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like
It's a fucking women. This Representative Yvette D. What's that say?
Clark,
representative
from New York District 9.
All right, so she's going to talk about being there but leaving early. Right.
Horrific as I thought it would be.
Did you leave early?
Absolutely.
It was like an award show. You get a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal.
That's literally Mo just said. You get a car. You get a car. Y'all are on the same
That's
page.
That's a talking point, by the way. She's not the only one to call it an award show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, giving the combat battle star to someone who got their leg shot out 20 minutes ago.
Right.
That's so
recognizing moments
annoying.
of true valor.
Yeah.
And self-sacrifice is an award show.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it's a chick. I think it's a chick problem. It's that sort of what's Elon Musk know? Nothing. He's the dumbest billionaire I know. Why don't you get the fuck out of here, Elon? You don't know anything. Right. And what do? You don't do shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except build rockets.
So what? This guy flew a stupid hella thing into place. But so what? It's like, hey, bitch, you fucking do it. And by the way, I know you don't appreciate anything that all the white dudes built or any of the wars ever won, but you fucking use them every day. So why don't you shut the fuck up? All right, let's see.
Yes.
Let's see. All right, give me the story. You got the snowball story?
I do got the snowball story.
Because I got thoughts on that.
All right. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani on yesterday, downplayed Monday's snow-throwing attack on New York City Police Department officers, calling the Washington Square Park incident a snowball fight, despite multiple hospitalizations for facial lacerations. Several NYPD officers were struck in the head with snowballs, responding to a call about a large disorderly group at the park. Yeah. Following the assault, NYPD Commissioner released a statement saying the behavior was disgraceful and criminal, but Zohran said it looked like kids having a snowball fight.
It's such a weird thing. Now, it's a political thing to the extent that you have your side and their side, and you take a situation like the nut job chick in the minivan, and she's running at the ice guy, and she gets shot in the head, right? Mm-hmm. And so you go, all right, well, that's a subject, and you go, okay, or Peretti, the guy's kicking the shit out of the back of the Suburban, spitting on the guys, then he gets wrestled later on, another incident, there's a gun, and then he gets shot. And so you take those two incidents, right? And you go, there's the CNN perspective. And the CNN perspective goes, Mom just dropped her kid off at daycare, trying to make her way back home, and a nice guy blocks her way, and next thing you know, she's dead. That's her thing. And you go, well, that's not quite what happened, right? And then there's the rights version, which is this woman turned this car into a weapon and was trying to run over an officer, and he tried to protect himself. And that's not exactly the version of it either, but they're both doing their version of it because that's what their side wants, right?
Right.
The thing that's weird to me, the part that's weird to me is when it's just the cops and you're the mayor. You know what I mean? It's like the part that's something that's always stuck in my head when they did that whole whipping Haitians at the border horseback, shades of Jim Crow, whatever. And Biden, who's a retarded race hustler, was just out there stirring things up.
Yeah.
And I said to Bald Brian, who's progressive, I go, I don't get why would Biden throw his border patrol under the bus that way? That's his border patrol. And Brian said, low-hanging fruit, easy. He scores some points. And I'm like, why are you scoring points as the president throwing? And then it's like, oh, you retards are so far gone, that does score points for you, right? But he went, it's a good opportunity to throw your border patrol under the bus. And I'm like, yeah, okay, the progressive left loves that. But it's like, why is the president doing that? That's his border patrol. Sure. By the way, no wonder the fucking border was wide open, that you guys didn't miss an opportunity to attack the border patrol. Mamdani, that's his PD. That's his police department. That's his city.
Right.
Why are you not missing an opportunity? Now, look, first off, it's not a snowball fight. It's you being pelted with snowballs.
Yes.
When you're a referee, when you're an umpire at a game, a baseball game in the 60s, and you make a bad call and you get pelted with beer bottles, that's not a beer bottle fight. That's you getting hit with beer bottles. This is cops being hit with snowballs. Some have rocks in them, some are ice, and what have you. All right, we'll play Mamdani. But it's always, and by the way, all right, Doss got to get a Kleenex, but that's fine. All right, we'll play the clip. Go ahead.
I've said that what I saw was a snowball fight. It should be treated accordingly. It was one that got out of hand, but that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to revise your statement regarding the snowball fight, given that this was not exactly a friendly back-and-forth snowball fight, that the police that were there were not throwing any snowballs. They were getting pelted.
Somebody asked a normal question, which is, it's not a snowball fight, it's you getting hit with snowballs. A snowball fight is you throw snowballs at them and they throw snowballs.
A snowball fight makes it seem playful.
Yes.
That was not what that was.
By the way, he did that thing where he goes, I'm not going to outlaw snowball fights. Like, I love when they do that. It sort of reminds me of I think it was the John Kerry or Edwards one, where he's like in Davos and he's like, why are you flying privately? You want me to sail here? Yeah, on an old-time schooner, you fucking retard. No, take Delta, you fucking asshole, where you'd have a smaller carbon footprint. I love when they change. There is, and you're going to have to find it, Andrew, I think, but there is the one where he does the beginning clip where he's like, I'm not going to outlaw snowball fights. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about, and you fucking know it. But go ahead, sorry. The person asked, run it back 10 seconds. The person asked a normal question.
I've said that what I saw was a snowball fight. It should be treated accordingly. It was one that got out of hand, but that's what it was. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, Mr. Mayor, are you willing to revise your statement regarding the snowball fight, given that this was not exactly a friendly back-and-forth snowball fight, that the police that were there were not throwing any snowballs. They were getting pelted themselves. And number two, have you considered, or would you consider banning these crowdsourcing events, because they can and sometimes do get out of hand?
So I'm not going to be banning snowball fights or organized snowball fights. I've said
she didn't ask you to ban snowball fights, and she said, why do you keep calling it a snowball fight when these guys are being pelted with snowballs and not throwing them back? He's a fucking liar. But by the way, why does he have to throw the cops under the bus? Like, why the fuck did Biden have to throw the Border Patrol under the bus, and why does he have to? And by the okay.
Because it's probably the same thing that Mamdani is doing now.
Yes.
Joe Biden needed to
score points with your base.
Make the Border Patrol seem evil.
Right.
Because they wanted to allow everyone into the country. Maybe Mamdani wants to paint the police as evil so that he can defund them.
Yes, he paints them as racist before. I'm just saying, it's all scoring points with your base, but who's your fucking base? A bunch of radical jihadists.
Unfortunately, yeah, it seems that way.
I will play you. Oh God, who is this? Heather
McDonald.
Heather McDonald. Here's the Ferguson effect. So here's what happens: you villainize your villainize your cops. They stop doing their job. They stop signing up. They stop getting out of their patrol car. Who the fuck wants to get pelted with snowballs and then get thrown under the bus by their mayor? So fuck it. At a certain point, you just go, I'm not getting out of my car.
The blue flu.
And then you get the Ferguson effect. Here it is.
You could get rid of all police shootings of civilians tomorrow, and it would have virtually no effect on the black death by homicide rate. Blacks between the ages of 10 and 25 die of gun homicide at 25 times the rate of whites in that age category. And they're not being killed by the cops. They're being killed by other blacks. And nobody wants to talk about it. We're supposed to believe that we're all racist. It's the media that's racist. They don't give a damn about black lives. They don't give a damn about the dozens of blacks who are killed by homicide every single day. That's more than all white and Hispanic homicide victims combined, even though, as we said, blacks are 13% of the population. Virtually none of those black homicide victims gets covered. We are not saying their names because they're killed by other blacks, and we don't want to talk about that. So the Ferguson effect says when you demonize the cops back off, and guess what happens? When the cops stop making stops, when they stop looking at hot spots where shootings have happened and they back off, criminals get emboldened and more black lives are taken. That's what happened after the Ferguson riots, after the George Floyd race riots in 2020. We had an even greater meltdown. We had every single American elite institution declaring it was racist to the core. And the cops were, of course, as usual, one of the main targets of this. 2020 saw the largest one-year increase in homicide in this nation's history, 29%, and thousands more black lives were taken. That's what happens when you demonize the cops.
Well, there you go, black people. There you go. All right, good time. Listen, but there's part of me that sort of is going to watch and enjoy New York just sort of bottoming out because you fucking retards.
There are people around the country who love watching California bottom out.
I know, because they go, we have the first African-American female mayor. They have the first man of color, Islamist mayor. Like, okay, with all your first. You have the first retards who are going to run the city into the fucking ground. Enjoy it. I'll also play you this oldie but goodie, which is the beginning. It was the whole Trump LAPD response, the whole Trump star thing, which is, listen, if you assholes who are in law enforcement, and I shouldn't say the beat cop, but I just mean the DAs and the mayors and the governors and the folks at the higher echelons of the LAPDs and the New York PDs, if you guys, the executive class, if you guys are going to make jokes about these guys enforcing the law, LA, there's a reason why LA has street takeovers. It's because we tolerate it. Yes. And there's a scene, a mob of criminals that are throwing ice balls at cops, and the mayor comes out and defends them and not the cops. And so you will get more of this. I remember very clearly, and I remember showing you, Dawson, about 8 or 10 years ago, there was like some cops, and he went into a black neighborhood or whatever. Literally like a 6-year-old boy like threw a bucket of water at the cop. And I was like, that's a 6-year-old boy with a bucket of water chucking it at the cops. This is not what we're looking for, and society needs to take the cop sides. But this is, how many years ago is this? And I've showed it before, but they went to the LAPD union captain or whatever. He wasn't the captain of the cops. He was like the union captain or whatever.
Okay.
They'll say it on there. And this is a good 8 or 10 years ago. And people were walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard with a pickaxe, smashing Donald Trump's star. And somebody caught this guy in front of a good restaurant and asked him what he thought about it.
Yeah.
This is law
Hey, Matthew,
enforcement.
Hey, what do you think about the ongoing defacing of Donald Trump's Star of Fame?
I'm in favor of it.
You're in favor of it?
It's a police
Do you
commissioner.
think maybe they should just remove
President.
the star? Is it becoming a public
definitely in
nuisance?
favor of getting rid of the star.
How many
Great.
drinks
Hey,
is he
thank
in
you very
right
much,
there?
sir. Have a good night.
He's going to drive drunk, but he's
Yeah.
got this. He's got the badge on his wallet. He's not getting a DUI.
Right.
All right. Now the answer is it's disgusting, and anyone involved with that's going to get arrested.
Right.
And the answer from Joe Biden at the border is I looked at the photos carefully, and I actually talked to the photographer, and they were not beating any Haitian migrants. These are patriots who are doing their job enforcing the border.
Even the photographer said that.
Yes, that should be Biden's answer.
Right.
Then Mamdani should be, it's never all right to pelt NYPD cop with a snowball or anything else.
Well, when
we will be prosecuting these people to the fullest. That's the fucking answer, you assholes.
Yeah,
That's the only answer. Or you get more.
Yeah. When you blatantly distort the facts for an answer like that, you have another motive.
Yes.
It goes back to the stupider liar. And
Mamdani doesn't like cops. He already called them racist. And there's going to be less signing up and more doing early retirement. And there's going to have more crime. It's going to have more fucked up city. Good fucking luck to you.
Yeah.
And by the way, why don't you look around, see what's happening in San Francisco or any other blue city, Chicago, and get your shit together? Because your plan's not working. It can't work. It'll never work.
Check out Skid Row, the 6th Street Bridge, any number of places in the Los Angeles area.
All right, what else you got?
Well, let's go local, LA now. Former Los Angeles Fire Department Chief, Kristen Crowley, remember her?
First woman who
She filed a lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, heavily criticizing Mayor Karen Bass and her handling of the Palisades fire. If I was Kristen Crowley, I'd walk into court and say, Exhibit A, Your Honor, she hired me.
Yeah, that's right.
Gavel down, case closed, give her $3 million.
That's right. That's right. We love the first woman in whatever positions. Listen, I've told you guys a million times. We had Tom Bradley. He was the mayor, and he was black, and he was the mayor of Los Angeles starting like 68 or something. Like, we've had a black guy, he was good, and nobody said a word and nobody cared. So we don't need this thing where we're breaking down these barriers in Los Angeles. First woman, first woman of color,
very important.
first black man. It's like we had a guy, Tom Bradley, 68. I mean, we are talking about 60, coming on to 60 years ago.
Right.
We broke it down. Right. And nobody cared. It was fine. He did a good job. Yeah, we'll have to pay her when her lawsuit comes around. But yes, Karen Bass is a dope, maybe a communist. I don't know. She's not fit to run anything. Why should she be? She's never done anything.
Well, the lawsuit says that Bass sought to avoid accountability by shifting blame and lying, including falsely claiming that she was not aware of the nationally anticipated weather event, falsely claiming that the LAFD's budget was not cut, and falsely claiming that the LAFD resources would have supported an additional 1,000 firefighters to fight the blaze, contradicted by public records and Bass's own prior statements. That's what the lawsuit says.
The fact that she claims she didn't have access to information, like Rick Caruso had his fire crew.
There were deleted text messages, deleted voicemails. There is Karen Bass on tape explaining to one of her subordinates that it will all become clear why I took off. It will all become clear.
Why she took off?
Yeah, why to Ghana.
Oh, to Ghana.
Why she didn't?
Yeah. I love the chick on chick crime. I love when they cackle. I love a chicken fight.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to root for in this one. You have one person fired from a job she wasn't qualified for in the first place.
Well,
and the other one elected to a job she wasn't qualified for.
To be fair to all the DEI hires, we just assume you weren't qualified because you're a chick and...
They're going to throw in an allegedly there?
No, what I'm saying is here's the scourge.
It's not good for you, yes.
No,
we assume you're unqualified.
Here's the scourge of the DEI.
Yeah.
And affirmative action, as we used to call it. By the way, affirmative action is to DEI what, ecology is to climate change or something. We had different words for it back then, but it's the same thing. If you are a young black man walking through the quad at Harvard, other people will see you and assume that your SAT scores weren't as high as the Asian kid who's walking the other direction, or that maybe it's the color of your skin that got you there versus other academic, achievements. Now, that may be true, but it also may not be true.
True, 100%.
You may have gotten a perfect 2,000 like Gavin Newsom on the SATs. We don't know, but the real scourge is we just assume you got pushed to the front of the line because of DI. She may be unqualified, and I assume, now not unqualified to be an administrator in the fire department or be a fire person, but to be the fire chief of Los Angeles. We assume we did that because we're Los Angeles and we like the idea of a female in that role. But
she didn't get fired from the department, by the way. She is now the assistant chief of the Valley Bureau. So she works in my neighborhood now.
We have a clip of her. All right.
Period. Did the city of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city? It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say, justifiably, what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community. Did they fail you? That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs. Did they fail you? Yes.
Yeah. Good for her.
That was pre-fire or post. Was that pre-fire or post-fire?
I think it was post.
But she's like, get us the firefighters we need, or whatever.
I know. I know. Yeah.
All right, 2020. All right, Dawson, a yeoman's job, except for the chains in the coffin. But other
my bad.
No, it's all right. Bar Rescue, season 10, out now on Paramount. Me, Friday, Saturday, Dallas, Texas, Hyenas Comedy Club, 2 shows each night. Go to adamcarolla.com for all that. Until next time, Adam Carolla for John Taffer and Dawson saying mahalo. Can you find, there's a great, I'm going to ask Andrew, popped in my head, this clip of Katie Porter on Bill Maher when she was getting into it with Piers Morgan, who had thoughts. She's a horrible, horrible person that I did a little research on. It was 6 years ago. I was complaining about her and that bank commercial talking about how to save money. Don't order, Starbucks. Don't Uber. Make your own food.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
She attacked B of A or whatever it was. She attacked them for telling their clients to save money.
Yeah.
Also,
I remember that.
She's a dumb cow because she was like, "How about them trying to make rent?" It's like, well, if I said to my grandfather, I'm having trouble making rent, and then he said, what are you doing tonight? And I said, I'm going out for sushi. He would say, well, maybe you should stop going out for sushi so much and go home and why don't you boil up a pot of beans and some rice and make yourself some food at home? I mean, literally, when I was poor, I would make a big pot of like vegetables and, meat and stuff. I'd make a big pot of this stuff. And then I'd just make a big thing of pasta and I'd just dump it over the pasta. And I'd eat that 4 nights in a row. Because it was $14 for 5 meals is basically what it worked. I didn't go out to eat. I wasn't ordering lattes.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But this is what they were telling you. They were advising young people to save their money. And by the way, they said, don't order an Uber, walk to the place, get some exercise. Anyway, it's all the diet and exercise of life, and that dumb cow had to attack them.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Of course. Right. All right. Now, so for me, that person doesn't have the ability to use logic, and therefore 6 years ago, I was like, this bitch is dumb, and I don't want her anywhere near any levers of control.
I mean, she could be your governor. Welcome to California.
That's right. So we have, but it's interesting. Piers asks her, well, you'll see the clip, but it's perfect because she just knows something and she won't answer. But and by the way, Piers does what Bill should do, which I do with people all the time, and they go, I disagree with everything Charlie Kirk says. I was like, why don't you tell me something you disagree with then? Go ahead and tell me. Not, okay.
Tell me one thing.
Yeah, all right. Well, play the clip when Andrew's ready to do it. And Piers tries, but she won't do it because she's dumb.
You should be able to have a civil debate. Nobody, including Riley Gaines, who I disagree with strongly, should
What do you disagree with, out of interest?
I think that it should be up to sporting bodies.
Pause it. All right, so you can see her. She disagrees with. She disagrees strongly.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you disagree with, bitch? Tell us. All right. So you can see her have like a little minor glitch melt. You know, where she's like, "Huh? Answer a question." All right. Sorry. We'll play it again. Turn it up a little, Andrew, please.
Up to sporting bodies to make the decisions about who and how should compete.
What has she said that's actually wrong?
I think that what she has done is try to turn this. We talked about people, using things to kind of get likes and get clicks.
That's not what she's doing.
All right, pause.
I've got no truck for Riley Gaines personally.
Pause. Okay. I disagree with everything this person says. Okay. What has she said that's wrong? She's trying to get clicks. Well, that's all right. That's not an example of what she said that's wrong. She doesn't know what Riley Gaines says.
Right.
She has no fucking idea who Riley Gaines is.
Right.
Riley Gaines is on the other side, and she doesn't like people on the other side. She has no idea what Riley Gaines says, and whatever Riley Gaines says is diet and exercise. So you can't poke holes in it. So she can't. But now she's saying. She's trying to be popular and get clicks, so she says, from the set of a TV show she's on.
Right. I mean, it's exactly the kind of person we don't need to hear from, right?
Right. All right. But in Piers, it's just asking simple questions. Yeah. All right. But you can rewind it 10 seconds or whatever, and we'll play it on. Go ahead.
Get likes and get clicks.
That's not what she's doing. I've got no truck for Riley Gaines personally, but all I've seen her do is stand up for women's rights to fairness and equality.
Well,
she actually competed against Leah Thomas, and it was obviously unfair. Leah Thomas won one of the races in the NCAA championships by 50 seconds against a bunch of biological females who simply couldn't keep up. That cannot be right. It cannot be fair.
That is something that I think our sporting bodies should be dealing with. And by the way, Riley is speaking up for herself, and that is her prerogative, and I respect her free speech.
I think she's speaking up for pretty much every female athlete in the world.
Wasn't that the point of total?
No point. What's her ideas?
Yeah.
What's her problem? How are we going to solve
6
this?
years ago.
I hate Riley Gaines.
Yeah.
Was this 6 years ago?
Oh, I thought that's what you said. When was this?
Oh, true.
You were railing about her 6 years ago, you said. No?
I said I did the whole B of A bank, cook your own food, get it. I did a long explanation on that from 6 years ago.
Okay, got it.
The point is, she's a dope. And she doesn't know how to think logically. All she knows is Riley Gaines is the enemy, even though Riley Gaines is a top-notch athlete who got screwed over by a 6'4" guy with a dick and fucked over. This is from April. Oh, this is 2 years old. So she got fucked over, and you're not taking Riley Gaines' side because she's on the other side. But the other side is just diet and exercise. It's just gravity. It's just what makes sense. And you're in some pie in the sky side. The panel that isn't going to be able to fix anything because everything to you is, we'll put together a panel and let them discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not going to happen. Oh, by the way, it's I don't know how many panels can you assemble. I don't know how many homeless commissions can we put. How many panels can we put together?
Yeesh.
All right, let's get into some news with Hughes, shall we?
All right, the new director of the Food and Drug Administration's vaccine division told his agency in a staff memo that an internal review found that at least 10 children died after and because of receiving the COVID vaccine.
Well, look, if they were healthy, then that's more kids than died of COVID while healthy. It's all the kids. It's all back to the kids. Every road's to the kids. That's all they did was the kids. That's all they did was scare dumb mamas. Dumb mamas controlled the house, and dumb mamas became their foot soldiers and did their fucking bidding. So it's basically like you go, look, what do you want? You go, well, I want everyone to not take ivermectin and not take hydroxychloroquine and get vaccinated and stay in and shelter in place and wipe everything out with Purell. You are not going to get that done with me. You will get it done with a dumbass wife. You poison her brain and you get to her, and then she inflicts. She is the disciplinarian. She lays down all the rules, the COVID rules at the house, right? And the way you get her is you scare her about kids. That's what works with her. So kids. If they had just said at the beginning of this, it doesn't really appear to harm healthy kids. It just doesn't. It just doesn't seem to have, it's like maybe a flu or a cold to a healthy young person. So it doesn't really seem to affect kids. It would have been a totally different trajectory. We wouldn't have shut the schools down. We wouldn't have shut society down. If they had told us what they knew about kids, then we would have gone a different direction. But they never did. They never did. They wouldn't, because they held that. They guarded that information, and they guarded that information because once you let the kids off the danger hook, like if you said, it doesn't appear to really be dangerous to healthy kids, then every mom in the world would have stopped enforcing all the retarded edicts they put before her. And that's where we got. And that's why the dumb moms got the fucking kids vaccinated, and it was totally unnecessary for them.
Absolutely.
And now it's dangerous. Thanks, moms. Yep. Great job. Next time, ask a fucking question, would you please, before you light your Fauci candle? Fucking dumb shits.
Yep.
Everyone in this fucking safety sphere and all this thing, it's fucking us up. You guys fucked up your kids in the name of safety. Good job, moms.
Smart.
Keep listening to dopes who lie to you.
Well, the media certainly isn't helping. This article comes from AOL, and they say, experts are pushing back. Guess the expert that they quote. The guy that RFK fired. He's the expert that is pushing back.
Your expert titles are null and void because all your experts were wrong all throughout COVID.
Right.
And all my experts were right that you pulled off the internet.
He says, this memo conveys a very troubling mixture of misrepresentation and lies. The climate within the agency is incredibly toxic right now. The agency that you got fired from.
Yeah, by the way, Jack White, Hall of Fame with the White Stripes. Yeah. Is there one fucking Jack White Stripes song we know other than that one? Who gets into the fucking...
one that might ring a bell, but I couldn't think of it.
Who gets into the Hall of Fame with one fucking song?
I don't know. Somebody who's sitting on the nominating committee?
Aha! Also, I think it's the chick drummer thing. I think they like that.
They do. They do. This article goes on. I got to share this with you, too. Kennedy, an anti-vaccine activist, has downplayed the benefits of it. It's like, come on, guys. No one's going to take you seriously anymore.
Listen.
Except for moms who are scared.
Well, listen. He's for vaccines you need and against vaccines you don't need.
He's not an anti-vaccine activist.
I'm not getting a vaccine for malaria, and neither are my kids. Does that make me anti-vaccine, or does it just mean they're not going to get malaria, so it's not worth whatever risk comes along with the vaccine?
That's what that means.
That's all I ever said. That's all I ever said with the fucking kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sad.
Well, Trump said retard on social media over the weekend. Referring to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as a retard.
I'm very glad that Listen, I'm not going to call myself the Harriet Tubman or the Rosa Parks of retard.
Mm-hmm.
But when the chips were stacked against me about 10, 15 years ago, and everyone's trying to put a ban on retard, and they said you got to sit in the back of the short bus.
You were front of the bus.
I said
on that.
no. I said fuck right off. That's one of my favorite words, and it's the most applicable to so many people I talk to.
Absolutely.
I was on stage.
It's applicable to Tim Walz.
I know.
Go on.
I was on stage with Todd Glass, I think the comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He was a wonderful guy. Loves to beat me up, even though I played his charity. I love when people do. Anyway, he's a fucking unfunny douche. But we're on stage at the Improv, and he was telling me I couldn't use the word retard on stage, and I just went, "Yeah, I can." Yeah. And he's like, "No, you can't." I love it when stand-ups police the language of other stand-ups. It's so fucking awesome. But anyway, I never. Look, there was some tough sledding for a while. I know. But I stood my ground. I stood my retard ground.
And we're all better for it.
Thank you.
Well, there's blowback and backlash because he used the word retard. A senator in Indiana who has a daughter with Down syndrome is very upset, and he says that he's not going to vote for redistricting in Indiana because Donald Trump said the word retard. Not for any reason worth merit.
Retard should have also this thing where it's like, I have a child. Oh, fuck off with your fucking child.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck, you narcissist douchebags? Everyone's got a child with some shit going on, so shut up.
Well, basically, this was just an opportunity for him to act on the feelings he already had.
Well, he's going to take a narcissistic stance.
Of course.
Right. Yeah. All right. Listen, advance.
I just think it's
forward.
Hilarious. The president of the United States called the former running mate in the last election a retard or retarded.
I enjoy it.
That's amazing.
Here's the thing. Advance is advance and retard is retard.
Yes.
It's all a timing thing.
Yes.
It has to do with cars. You take your distributor and you could advance the timing or you can retard the timing. By the way to pass a smog is to retard the timing, and then you can advance it a little once you get your smog certificate.
That's what I tell my friends. Right, whenever I call them retarded, I'm just saying, look, your timing's off. That's all I'm saying.
My Hawk clip was from Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
Some 3 years ago. But feet on the sofa.
The bottom of her feet, too. I mean, that can't be a good look. Was that a sock?
No, it was the bottom of it's clearly the bottom of a shoe because it has a shape like a sole.
Yeah.
It's not a sock shape.
Yeah.
No, she walked down the filthy, mean streets of Manhattan, through the gutters, through the rat feces, through the hobo flop, and walked right onto that upholstered stage and put her feet right up on there. Also, it's also a kind of a I don't respect you way of sitting.
Sure.
Like, it's not the way you'd sit. Like if the principal called, there's a way to sit. Like when the principal calls you into their office and like, oh, young man, you're in trouble. Like you don't sit like that.
If you sat like that in court,
right.
The judge would not.
The judge would not be happy. If you sat that way in court, your attorney would elbow you.
Yeah.
And then he'd write on a little pad, a scratch pad, and he'd write, "Put your goddamn feet on the ground,"
right?
Because the judge is watching us, right?
Yes.
And also, it's basically the equivalent of put on a cardigan sweater. You know what I mean? As a dude, let's not look like a thug. All right.
Yeah, that's the bottom of a boot kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. There it is, there, buddy. I don't know why it's comfortable, by the way, but somehow. All right, retard.
Have you ever seen the movie Rush Hour? Any of the movies Rush Hour?
Maybe some. The first one, I think so.
I've never seen one, but they were big hits.
They were big hits.
Apparently, Donald Trump, President Trump, spoke with Paramount head David Ellison, whose father is Larry Ellison, the billionaire co-founder of Oracle. And apparently he professed his love for Rush Hour. and now Rush Hour's coming back. It doesn't say that everybody's signed on to it, but nobody's fighting against it. But forget about Rush Hour. What's more important, buried deep in the article, is it turns out that President Trump is a huge fan of the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic Bloodsport.
Oh, really?
Now, if we can get a remake of Bloodsport,
well,
I'm down.
Listen, let's start with Time Cop, all right? Mm-hmm. And then we go to Bad Ronald. It's high time we had a Bad Ronald remake. Scott Jacoby's not been doing anything for like 47 years. We can get him to play the dad this time. He'll come back. All I know is I remember, I have a faint memory of being backstage at this happens to me every once in a while. To the best of my knowledge, I've never met Chris Tucker. To the best of my knowledge.
Okay.
I was doing a show in like San Antonio, and it was like a thing where sometimes you play these venues where they'll have like two venues in the same place. And I think I was doing
like Copper Blues or something like that, where they got music in one.
Well, there's
thing, and comedy in another.
Yeah, I was
doing the bar.
I was doing there's a lot of those, and then there's the ones where like the Indian Casino, or like when I was there, and we're there for Atlantic City, and Leno was playing the 2,000-seater, and I was playing the 1,000-seater underneath it, or something like that. It was one of those situations. And then, like, I came off stage, and Chris Tucker came off stage, and he was, like, in his room. It wasn't a dressing room. It was like a big room with two doors, you know? And he was in there, and he was with his people and his whatever. And I finished my show, and I was walking off stage, and somebody went, well, Chris Tucker's in there, you know? And I went, oh, I've never met Chris Tucker before. And they said, well, you should go say hi to Chris Tucker. And then I was like, I don't know. It doesn't work. It never works out, right? And I was like, yeah, say hi to Chris Tucker. When was last? You're never going to see the guy again. Go say hi to him. You guys just walked off stage, you know, a couple comedians, couple legendary comedians. Go say hi to him, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you think you okay? And I remember, like, I opened the door, and he was in there wearing like an all-white pleather suit with white boots and white belt and the full Eddie Murphy, you know, stand-up leather suit. And he had his like posse all like behind him. And he was like sort of in the middle of the story. And they were kind of, oh yeah, they were yes manning him all the way. And I opened the door, and it was like the needle on the record, you know. It was like, may we dance with your date? No, it was like, Otis, my main man. I like opened the door, and everyone just kind of looked at me and went, whoop, and they just went, huh? And I went, oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. And I closed the door, and they got right back to talking. And I was like, I knew it. That's on me, right? Should have known. And
then that's the thing. Number one, you can't go against your instincts. But number two, it's like when you plan a trip and you know that if everything goes right, you're going to land and you're going to have an hour to watch football and then take a nap. As soon as you speak that thing, as soon as you speak the goodness that could happen, you are eliminating it from the possibilities in your life.
But here's the thing, Dawson. I don't know, less than a year ago, Mike August walks in here and he goes, oh, you got tickets to UFC? I go, yeah. And he goes, why don't you ask Costner to go with you? Sure. And I go, no, come on, leave the guy alone, Mike.
Because you downplayed it.
Don't bother Kevin Costner.
Yeah, in your mind, there was like, no way that could
call
happen.
Kevin Costner and ask him if he wants to go watch UFC with you. I go, no, come on. He's gonna get angry. Leave him alone. You know, and he's on the fucking set somewhere. Right. He's not gonna. And I call Kevin, next thing you know, we're going to the UFC together. So, see, it works. There's many times when I shouldn't have done it, but I don't know which time. That's the whole
there you
time.
go.
I
That's
should
the key right there.
I should have listened.
God, your life would be so much better.
I should have
if you
listened
knew.
to me with the Chris Tucker, but I shouldn't have listened to me with the Kevin Costner.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. All right, let's do one more story.
All right. So Michelle Obama has been accused of taking Ozempic after a photo shoot showing a skinnier figure.
I love the Ozempic controversy. I love how women get angry at Ozempic. They get angry at the women who are on Ozempic. I love that. It's basically, for women, it's the new boob job. It's the women who are flat-chested going, that's not even real. I don't know. Dudes seem to like it. Yeah, but she didn't do that on her own. I know, but she's got dudes buying her drinks. They fucking hate that. This is the new boob job. Because big jugs aren't a thing anymore. But being skinny, always in style. And there's something weird there. I'm going to file her under. I'm going to file her under. I'm going to put Michelle Obama in the Gavin Newsom category in that you can say, well, who's this person and who's that person? Like you go, well, who's Donald Trump? He's in a hurry. He's blustery. He's a blowhard. He's confident. He wants to get shit done. Okay. Whatever. You go, who's that guy? Okay. And then you can kind of go, well, who's Bernie Sanders? And he goes, well, he's kind of a fucking hippie, kibbutz, commune, kind of fucking Russian apologist, but he wants everyone to fucking have everything. I mean, he still likes history houses, but whatever.
It's like a Muppet.
Fine. Like who's Al Gore? Well, he's just going to talk about the environment. And then you go, well, who's Michelle Obama and who's Gavin Newsom? And I go, I have no fucking idea. Angry, weird, sociopathic, seem to be some sort of creation that's just trying to figure out what's most popular all the time, complaining about everything and never doing anything, like totally ineffective on everything, saying nonsensical things like, hey, don't touch my hair. You wish you touched my hair. It's like, no one wants to touch your hair. Clearly angry. Racist, pandering, and weird, but I don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I know who Bernie Sanders is, and I know who... You go, Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, the two... I know who Bill Maher is. I know who these people are. I really don't know who she is, other than she seems angry and a malcontent. We do have Burt Reynolds doing one of her speeches.
Oh, we got to hear this.
I think
she did. She did make a huge big deal about her hair.
Oh,
did you see her hair in that picture? I wonder how much work she put into that hair to have it look like that.
The thing that's funny about her too is I was thinking about it. She's like, America's not ready for a beautiful, tall, strong. It's like, we had Diana Ross in like 1967. We liked her a lot.
Our hair comes out.
All right, hold on. All right, this is Burt Reynolds. I like to put the voice of Burt Reynolds over Gavin Newsom, but we've put it over Michelle Obama talking about her hair.
Let me explain something to white people. Our hair comes out of our head naturally in a curly pattern, so when we're straightening it to follow your beauty standards, we are trapped by the straightness. That's why so many of us can't swim, and we run away from the water. People won't go to the gym because we're trying to keep our hair straight for y'all. It is exhausting, and it's so expensive, and it takes up so much time. Braids are for y'all, so we can work harder and focus on the work. So why do we need an act of law to tell white folks to get out of our hair? Don't tell me how to wear my hair. Don't wonder about it. Don't touch it. Just don't.
Just don't.
By the way, in terms of wondering about shit, sorry, bitch. You can't control the wondering part. I wonder about everything all the fucking time. She's literally saying, don't touch my hair. Don't wonder about my hair. Don't talk about my hair.
But she's talking about her hair.
Right. But that's a supreme, insane narcissist that you're dealing with right there. Yeah. So something's wrong with her. I never get why you think Obama would go, listen, I fucking hate this country, and I'm racist as shit, too. I hate white people as well, but reel it in, bitch. I got to go out and fucking, you're all over the internet, people calling you a fucking racist and a douchebag and a narcissist all the time. Like, just fucking reel it in a little bit. You know what I mean? Do something about some program for the kids or something. You know, stop fucking talking about yourself all the time. And people wondering about your hair or wanting, by the way, this thing was like, don't come up and touch could you get within 9 feet of her to touch her hair before Secret Service tackled you to the ground? And who's touched her hair?
No, I tried to walk up to Carlos Santana at the Bay Area Music Awards 20 years ago, and I nearly got tackled.
Oh, really?
I can't imagine what would happen.
You're riding like a 7-beer buzz?
Right, yeah. Hey, I'm going to go talk to Carlos.
Carlos is like one of the only Hispanics with a jerry curl.
Yes.
So I do want to touch his hair.
What? That's what they...
Santana now... Crosby from Crosby, Stills and Nash. I don't know if I wanted to touch what was left of his hair, but I don't know. But Carlos Santana. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dawson, you've done it. Yes.
I got to add one thing to this. I love finding these just wonderful examples of bias in the media. So people are, calling out Michelle Obama for doing Ozempic. They're not saying, "How dare you?" They're saying, let everybody know. Be honest about what's going on. Well, it says in this article, the public health advocate, Michelle Obama, the public health advocate's sudden weight loss sparked unfounded speculation.
I love when they do unfounded.
Unfounded. Well, actually, no. If you lose weight rapidly and then do a photo shoot with your brand new skinny body, I don't think that's unfounded.
Well, the other thing about speculation, as we talk about all the time,
by nature, it is unfounded. I don't know.
It's called speculation.
Yeah.
It's called speculation. Now, spectators, let's see. What were the guys who went and looked for the gold? Prospectors and spectators. Spectating is like, here's what I think, but it doesn't mean it happened. But none of it is unfounded. It's like when they go, when they used to write all the Trump articles, and they go, Trump claims he won the election falsely.
Yeah.
No, it's here's Trump is claiming he won the election. I'm claiming I saw Bigfoot. The false or the non-false, that's not part of the story.
Right.
I claim I saw a ghost. Right? Mm-hmm. You can't go, Adam Carolla falsely claimed he saw a ghost. You go, Adam Carolla claimed he saw a ghost.
Well, if you get
then you can think Adam Carolla's a nut, but you can't say falsely claimed I saw a ghost. I claimed I saw a ghost, or Trump claimed this or did that, and people are speculating that she's on Ozempic. It's not falsely speculating. Mm-hmm. You can't falsely speculate. You can just speculate.
Exactly.
Yes, I know. Exactly. So we all know whose side they're on. The Equinox gym's behind me. That's a gym I used to belong to, and it's been closed ever since the fire. It's been over 9 months now. But good news, fat asses. There's another establishment across the street that opened almost immediately and has been open ever since. And that's why we're fat. Okay, so within about 300 feet, maybe less, you got a lot that just sold. You got another one for sale about 100 feet down that way. This one that just sold, and you got that one about 80 feet down that way sold. So within a course of about 8 or 9 lots, you got 3 that are either for sale or already sold. Oh, this already sold. This is just the strip in front of my place. This isn't all of PCH or all of Malibu. We're just talking about 2-block strip, maybe 20, 25 lots just in front of my place, and we've already spotted 3 that have either sold or are for sale. So it's now 5 lots, probably out of 13 or 14 lots. 5 of them are for sale. I hear most going to Chinese folk who are buying them all up. These are lots that are probably $6 million a piece, maybe 7,000, 7,500 square feet. So very small lots, very expensive lots. And as you can see, the people who lived here for years, these are family homes, have chosen not to try to rebuild. Sound about make my point? All right, something is going on because I counted 8 lots for sale in front of my residence. And that's a short run. I mean, that's out of maybe 25 or 30 lots, 8 of them are for sale. So I don't know if the Chinese are buying them all up, and I don't know how it works, but there's an inordinate amount of lots being sold and not being rebuilt by the owners. And obviously you can see there's no rebuilding going on by any owner on PCH, as predicted from the hotel room one day after the fire. When I say one day after the fire, I mean 8 hours after the fire. I sat in that hotel room in Burbank and I said, there shall be no rebuilding because there will be no giving of permits. And we're 9 months and I don't see one stitch of building material. So lots of lots for sale and 0 rebuilding. And when there's no rebuilding, well, there shall be gangbangers and there shall be graffiti. Graffiti is basically LA's version of ivy. In your nice town, if you leave stuff long enough, ivy will grow over it. And in LA, if you leave stuff long enough, graffiti will grow over it. In LA, if you sit on a park bench for too long, you will be tagged. Temescal Canyon, now I took a tour of this with Colonel Saucer, and it was set up to be a corridor of work and ingenuity. They had pulverizers, concrete pulverizers, everything was set up, and I went back a month later, and it was pristine and new and freshly painted, and you couldn't even tell they were there. And my point is, we are capable of doing this. This is what we can do if we set our mind to it. Now, Karen Bass isn't going to get this done, and Gavin Newsom's not going to get it done, but we can get this done. Temescal Canyon was Damnation Alley. It was more rebar, more scrap, more busted up concrete, more building materials, tractors and hose and cherry pickers and huge pieces of equipment, by the way, conveyor belts and concrete pulverizers and everything, major heavy equipment, all the way up and down this canyon with semi-trucks lined up at the top and pulverizers and metal extractors in the middle and guys with heliarcs and acetylene cutting rigs. And we went from that to pristine, brand new. You could have a kids soapbox derby race there on a Sunday. That's what we did. We went from this to you didn't even know we were there. Like it never even happened, just like they say in the commercial. So that's what we're capable of. We can go from this to this, but only if we try. Throughout this series, I've been talking a lot about caissons. Maybe you guys didn't know what caissons were. This is a caisson. Drill a hole, put a form on it, put rebar in it, pour concrete into it, go down 20 feet, 30 feet, maybe into bedrock. So I've talked about a lot. That is a caisson rig. That is a drill for caissons. So it turns that. It's got a big auger bit on it. There's an auger bit right there. One is an auger, the other is a hole saw type bit. You put the bit on the end of it, the rig lowers it down, you drill the caisson holes, you put the form in it, you fill it with concrete, and that's the way you can build out over the ocean. That hose is for concrete pumps because they're going to have to pump it. They're not going to be able to like a concrete truck and put a chute into this. They're going to pump it. The concrete truck will pull up there. It'll have a pump behind it. The forms will be in the caissons, and they'll drop a rebar cage into it, and then they'll fill it with concrete. That's what they're doing with that caisson rig. See, old school pile drive. New school caisson. Caisson pile. This one gets rammed into the ground by pile driver. That gets drilled and formed and poured. This house is built like a bunker, poured in place, retaining wall, grade beams, caissons down at the end, and some kind of steel I-beam center section here. And once again, it'd be pretty easy to build here if you could just start from here. But if the integrity of the concrete is compromised, then you got to bust all this up, and this goes down into the earth. So that'd be your first $1 million right here, or you could just start framing on Monday. Yeah, someone's going to have to core this, sample it, bring it to a lab, do a crush test on it, and see if it's good to go. These are J-bolts. All these J-bolts are sunk into the concrete when it's wet. And when they frame it, they put the treated bottom plate on top and they bolt it down with this. And this is a hold down. This was through bolted to like a main beam, like a 4x beam. The rest of these are 2x, but this is a hold down. This is a, I can't move it. That's a hold down that went through on the corners. That's a hold down. The corners have hold downs where they through bolt through this stuff. And over here, see this? This is old because this wall is formed with 1x6. See the stripes every 6 inches? Those are boards every 6 inches. Those pieces of metal tabs coming through go all the way through. They're called form ties. So the form doesn't blow out. Form it with 1x6. Slide the form ties in between the boards, the 1x6s, and put shims on either side of it. It's formed on the inside, it's formed on the outside. Pump the concrete in, and the form ties prevent it from blowing out. So as you can see, there's form ties all over this because this isn't formed with plywood. This is formed with 1x6. So this is old. In other words, this is how they used to do it. So now they would form it out of plywood. You ever go to those old movie theaters, like in the wings of an old theater from the 20s, you see all the stripes in the back that aren't painted or finished, you know, they don't have the plaster on them, just like in the wings. That's what that is. And by the way, they even simulate that now when they're building a cool new house, but they want to make it look old school architecture. They do a kind of form where they have those old school lines. If you go to like stand in the outside of the Coliseum, you'll see all those lines going across. 1x6 lumber because they hadn't invented plywood yet. Okay, what do I know? So I told you the old way they would form poured concrete is 1x6 with those form ties every 6 inches in between the boards. But now they form with plywood. So those are sheets of plywood, and those circular things are a newer form of form tie. So the plywood doesn't blow out when you pump the concrete into it. But as you can see, you don't need near as many, and there's not all the seams you would have every 6 inches with a piece of 1x6. So that's the old way to form. This is the new way to form. 9 months since the fire. 9 months. No construction. Zero construction. No forms, no form ties, no 1x6, no headers, no king studs, no trimmers, no womanized bottom plates, no J-bolts, no joist hangers, no HDs, no Simpson straps, no Tico clips, no OSB, no CDX half-inch good one side struck one, no oriented strand board, no ridge rafters, no paralams, no sublams, no crickets, no valves, no hips, no ridge rafters, no floor joists, no rim joists, no cripple walls, no 10-penny sinkers, no 16-penny sinkers, no 8-penny vinyl-coated sinkers, no 10-penny ring shank nails, no red heads, no expanding bolts, no Tapcons, no Z flashing, no L flashing, no SK flashing, no fry riglet, no drip edges, no bugle-headed coarse-threaded drywall screws, no mill core, no K-lath, no paralams, and by the way, no tools. No propane-powered slab drivers, no powder-actuated pin guns, no roto hammers, no D-handle hole hogs, no half-inch drill motors, no plunge routers, no scroll saws, no bayonet saws, no reciprocating saws, no banjo saws, no coping saws, no T-squares, no hip valve squares, no combination squares, no construction squares, no collated screw guns, no diagonal cutters, no channel locks, no vice grips, no sliding compound miter saws, no Vaughan hatchet-handled 22-ounce waffle-headed framing hammers, no 18-volt impact drivers, no hypoid saws, no nothing. Nothing. I don't know what the future holds. I cannot imagine how this is going to work, because far be it from me to side with the city and the Coastal Commission, but those places are going to have to be rebuilt, and the ones that are on the water are going to have to be rebuilt to a certain standard, and the septic's going to have to be redone to a certain standard, and fire and fire prevention and all the other sort of codes that go along with not letting this happen again are going to have to be in place. So it's going to take a while.